Welcome inside the COSA studio. I'm Maddie Morris, joined by my favorite sports broadcaster, Ron Thulin. Ron, thank you so much for coming in around the holidays. We have some bowls to talk about today.
I tell you what, this is my favorite time of the year, and you and I have talked for a number of years now about how much fun bowl season is, and it's going to be again that way this year. 6 bowl teams from Conference USA are going to be playing. Kudos out to Southern Miss. They finished the season 6-5. Because of the alignment of bowls, they were not able to go to postseason, but Jay Hobson and his team did a great job, and I want to make sure we congratulate them.
And let's get right to it, shall we? The first bowl game of the season will kick off as North Texas takes on Utah State in their 3rd straight bowl appearance, playing in the New Mexico Bowl. Like I said, 3rd straight bowl appearance, 3rd year under head coach Luttrell. You know, this program is trending in the right direction. What do you have to say about how they performed this year?
It starts with Seth Luttrell. Let me tell you something. He coaches the way he played at Oklahoma and the way his dad played at Oklahoma. He comes in with the #1 scoring offense in Conference USA. They also have the #1 pass offense in Conference USA, and they're led by their quarterback, Mason Fine, Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. They've got a great punch of scoring between DeAndre Torrey, Rico Bussey Jr. Both have scored 12 or more touchdowns this season. They are explosive on offense, and they're going to have their hands full because Utah State comes into this game. They have had a great year. Unfortunately, their coach, Matt Wells, is going to be gone for that game. He took the Texas Tech job, but they are also potent on offense. 3rd best scoring offense in the NCAA, 4th in scoring. So, North Texas is going to have to play some defense. North Texas gave up about 246 yards through the air this season, but they did force turnovers. They had 17 picks this year. So you have 2 of the top teams in the nation as far as interceptions in this game. Utah State tied for #1. They picked off 18 passes. UNT, they're tied for #2, picking off 17 passes. Both teams are going to try to go for the Oskies, as we used to call it in the old days. It's going to be a tough game for North Texas. But if they can get their offense going, which they can, Mason Fine is so efficient at quarterback, I think it's going to be a great day for North Texas.
It's bound to be a high-scoring game. That's a matter of fact. Let's see what Athletic Director Ren Baker had to say about the North Texas team playing in yet another bowl game.
I don't want to speak for Coach, but I don't ever view any one game as this is a game that's going to make or break where our program's going and where our momentum is. But certainly, if you win 10, that's something that nationally people recognize and notice. You win on national TV in a bowl game, and that's going to be on a Saturday. It's one of the first games, so there'll be a pretty good TV audience would be my guess to see 2 really good teams, a good matchup, 2 high-scoring teams play. So it'd be an opportunity certainly to catch attention nationally. But I think the most important thing in my mind is just to send the seniors out with a win and send them out the right way. They deserve that.
To see if the Mean Green can reach 10 wins this season for the first time since the 70s and win their first bowl game since 2013, tune into ESPN at 1 p.m. Central on Saturday, December 15th. The next bowl we'll look at will feature our East Division champs Middle Tennessee headed to the Bayou to take on App State in the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Now, this is actually Middle Tennessee's 4th straight bowl appearance, but they won their first one last year, so they're looking to go back-to-back for the first time in program history.
And you got to give the credit to head coach Rick Stocksdill, Conference USA Coach of the Year, and his team is led by his son, who also happened to be the MVP of Conference USA this year. Now, here's the problem, I think, right now that Rick Stocksdill has to deal with. They had a tough loss in the Conference USA title game to UAB, a team they had just gotten done beating. They had to get over it. But the good news is they took about a week off and went right back into practice. So basically, it was almost like a bye week. And let's get back to quarterback Brent Stocksdill. What a job he has done. He threw for over 3,200 yards, 28 touchdowns, but get this, just 8 picks. And what makes him so good is his accuracy. Only 1 game this year, he threw 2 interceptions. Now, both Rick Stocksdill and Brent Stocksdill said that was a tough loss. It's going to be tough to get over losing to UAB in the title game. But I think they will, because you have a player like Brent Stocksdill, career leader in just about every category passing, 18 300-yard games. That is amazing. Now they're taking on an App State team that won the Sun Belt. They're the only program with a bowl win in each of the first 3 eligible seasons of FCS. They average over 36 points a ball game, 20th best in the FBS. So they are obviously a great team. Here's the key for them. They allow fewer passing yards than all but 2 FBS teams this year. So if you're Middle Tennessee, you got to go out on a winning note. You forget about what happened at UAB, and I think more importantly, as a father, you want to go out with a win for your son. You've got Rick Stockstill, Brent Stockstill, final year for Brent. You want to go out and make your dad feel good. You want to go out and make your son feel good. Middle Tennessee has got the offense to do that. They just can't make mistakes in this game. They got to be as efficient as they were during the regular season.
It's no doubt there will be some emotion in that game.
I tell you what, you might as well buy stock and Kleenex on that, because when that game's over, if they win, you're going to see a lot of them being pulled out.
Well, here's what quarterback Brent Stockstill had to say about playing his final game as a Blue Raider.
You know, us seniors, just knowing that we've, gone to 4 straight bowls is something special, I think. And, we got our first win last year, and just trying to carry that on, continue to build on that foundation that we laid last year and winning that bowl game. And obviously we're excited about going to New Orleans. It's a great bowl game. I've been there before just as a coach's kid, so I know what it's all about, and I know that we're playing a really, really good team in, App State. So it'll be a fun challenge for us, and I think our guys are excited about it.
Tune in to ESPN at 8 p.m. Central on Saturday, December 15th to see if the Blue Raiders will end the season on a high note yet again with another bowl win. After winning a school record 10 games and their program's first conference championship, the 2018 champs UAB will head down to Florida for the Cherubini Boca Raton Bowl against Northern Illinois. Obviously, one of the best stories in college football, in my opinion. They weren't even playing on Saturdays 2 years ago, and now they're conference champs.
Tip your hat to Bill Clark. I mean, come on. Think about what this guy has done. And by the way, this is the only bowl game outside of the New Year's Six that has conference champions meeting. And you look at UAB, what an outstanding job Bill Clark has done. The last 2 years since football came back, they're 17-8, 13-3 in conference play. That's the most of any Conference USA school in that 2-year span. They're ranked in the top 7 in 7 stat categories in 2018. They're top 10 in the FBS in scoring defense and total defense. But I want to talk about their offense. Spencer Brown, 6th in the nation in rushing touchdowns, 20th in yards, had 15 rushing touchdowns in 2018. In the Conference USA title game, he was the MVP, 156 yards. This is the first time UAB is obviously playing back-to-back bowls. They're going to want to go out on a winning note, taking on Northern Illinois. 8-5 on the season. They're MAC champs. They have an outstanding defensive end, Sutton Smith. And I think right now, if you're UAB, you got to get the run game going. UAB was number 2 rushing at 208 yards a game in conference play. That's double what Northern Illinois allowed, and they've got to get their defense going. They've got to slow them down. But this is a very winnable game for UAB because they run the football so well and they play outstanding defense. I think Bill Clark's going to get a win in a bowl game for UAB. And
it would be actually the program's first bowl win.
Absolutely.
So let's see what head coach Bill Clark had to say about this monumental season.
So appreciative to all the folks that really just helped us get here. And I just go back in time and talk to, from the rebirth of our program and the recruits that came in, believed in us, the fans, the alumni, the supporters that really gave us this opportunity to be standing here today with a championship. So just want to thank all those folks. Thank our staff, all the hard work, and the players who believed.
To see if National Coach of the Year Bill Clark can put the cherry on top of this Cinderella season and lead his Blazers to the program's first ever bowl win, tune into ESPN at 6 p.m. Central on Tuesday, December 18th. Returning to a bowl game for the second consecutive year, Marshall also heads down to the Sunshine State, but this time to take on South Florida in the 2018 Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. Marshall is historically good in bowl games. They actually have an 11-2 overall record, and they're 5-0 under Doc Holliday.
I'll tell you, Doc Holliday has done an incredible job at Marshall. I know some of the Marshall fans are going, why aren't we winning this? Why aren't we going here? Let me tell you something. What you have done, what you have seen with Doc Holliday is a coach that wins football games. He teaches these young men, wins with integrity. This is going to be a good game because this year, outside of maybe some other years, Marshall has hung their hat on defense. You look at what they've done defensively. They only give up 2.9 yards per carry. That is outstanding. It's been their bread and butter this season. They're the number 2 rush defense in Conference USA. They only allow 104 yards a game, number 3 in total defense, number 2 in Conference USA in sacks. Their defense is going to have to step up big time in this game. But offensively, Isaiah Green, just a freshman, played in 9 games, started 8, did a really good job, was Conference USA Co-Freshman of the Year, threw for at least 1 touchdown in 9 games. He did throw 10 interceptions, and he's going to have to obviously avoid that in the bowl game. This is going to be a special game, by the way, for Marshall, one of their long snappers, Matthew Beardall, his younger brother Andrew, long snapper for the Bulls. Now the Bulls, led by Charlie Strong, former head coach at the University of Texas. They lost their final 5 games after opening 7-0, but they gave up 57 to Houston, 41 to Tulane. Cincinnati hung 35 on them. So a couple of keys here. Number one, they're not a great offensive team. So I think the advantage has to go to Marshall. Now Marshall's offense, you got to get Isaiah Green in a rhythm. Had a good freshman year, but this is his first bowl game, and he's had some time off. So you're going to have to make the simple throws, make the simple plays, but I think it's going to be defense that wins this game for Marshall.
And it'll definitely be an interesting game because they're actually playing in South Florida's home stadium.
I know, and that, it's just the way it worked out, but I don't think it's going to matter at all because it's not like South Florida drew 70,000 a game. So I think Marshall's going to overcome that because they play road games, obviously, during the regular season.
And here's what Coach Doc Holliday had to say about taking to the road one last time.
I mean, we've played well on the road for the most part this year, and have to do it one more time. Anytime you go on, normally when you go to a bowl game, you are playing on the road. Last year we were in New Mexico, of course, so we've been able to handle that. Your players got to be extremely tough. They got to have great leadership, and I think we have that on the team.
Tune in to ESPN at 7 p.m. Central on Thursday, December 20th to see if the Thundering Herd can continue their winning ways in the postseason. This year, FIU will also head to its second consecutive bowl game, but this time traveling to the Bahamas for the 2018 Makers Wanted Bahamas Bowl against Toledo. Second year to going to a bowl game, second year under head coach Butch Davis. It looks like the program is trending in the right direction.
I tell you what, let me tell you something. When they hired Butch Davis, who I've known since he was a high school coach back at Oklahoma and on Jimmy Johnson's staff at Oklahoma State, I said, this is a guy that's going to win at this program because number one, he knows how to recruit, and he has recruited incredibly well. Case in point, they had to replace just about every skill position player that led in statistical categories from the 2017 season. They did that. They were outstanding. They had a quarterback, graduate transfer from Bowling Green. He comes in, James Morgan, did an outstanding job, over 2,700 yards throwing, 26 touchdowns, completed 65% of his passes. But I'm going to give credit to the big hogs. The offensive linemen, they were third nationally in sacks allowed. They only gave up 9. Morgan was sacked less than 1 time a game, and they were also ranked 5th in tackles for a loss allowed. This is an outstanding offensive line. It goes back to what Butch Davis said when he took over this program. If you're going to be a good football team, you have to win the line of scrimmage. They did that this year. Napoleon Maxwell, outstanding job this season. Now they're taking a Toledo team, 5-3 in the MAC, led by head coach Jason Candle. Here's what makes them so good. 4 different players have returned punts for a touchdown in 2018. They also block kicks. Reggie Gilliam leads the FBS in blocks. With 4, you have a dangerous return man, and Deontay Johnson has 1 kickoff return for a touchdown, 1 punt return for a touchdown. Their defense is solid. So right now, I think if you're FIU, defense might be the key because Brent Guy, defensive coordinator at FIU, you've got to slow down this very balanced offense. Now, your offense, you got to get back into what got you where you are this season. Morgan has done a good job, and I think you can't say enough of the job totally that head coach Davis has done with this team, putting himself in a position to win a bowl game. It's outstanding.
And I have a tidbit for you.
Give me one.
FIU has won 1 bowl game in school history, 2010 against Toledo.
That's great, and hopefully it'll be 2018
Let's
against
have a repeat.
There we go.
Let's see what head coach Butch Davis had to say about overcoming adversity and playing in a bowl game once again.
Everybody loses players. Last year we lost 8 starters on defense. We lost 6 starters on offense. And having an opportunity to qualify to come to a bowl game was a little bit of a mystery at the beginning of the season. You're not sure that you're ever going to be good enough to do it. And I can honestly tell you that winning 8 games and getting a chance to come to Nassau and stay at Atlantis, we are unbelievably excited about it.
Will FIU come away with its program record 10th win of the season? Tune into ESPN on Friday, December 21st at 11:30 a.m. Central to find out. And Conference USA Bowl schedule will wrap up with Louisiana Tech traveling to its 5th straight bowl game to take on Hawaii in the SoFi Hawaii Bowl. Not only have they gone to 4 previous bowl games prior to this, but they've also won 4 previous bowl games, one of only 4 FBS teams to do so.
I'll tell you what, and you got to give credit to their head coach. Coach Holtz has done a great job because bowl games are different. Some guys start feeling a little fat and sassy about themselves. They take that time off prior to when you get back at practice. You don't have that same mindset. Coach Holtz has a system down and it works. Now, what I want to see is an explosive offense from Louisiana Tech, because this wasn't the offense that we've come to know and love over the years. Louisiana Tech will come into this bowl game. They averaged just about 24 points a game. They scored the fewest points since 2013. They only scored 30 points 4 times this season. So they've got to get their offense going. Jamar Smith, quarterback, did a good job throwing the ball over 2,800 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's got 2 great targets in Adrian Hardy, 69 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 6 TDs, number 3 in the conference. You also have Teddy Veal, 62 receptions. You've got to get your offense going. Now, defense, despite giving up over 400 yards a game, they have one of the best in FBS. Jalen Ferguson, finalist for the Ted Hendricks Award. Outstanding sack master. You got to get him on track because you're playing a Hawaii team. The line is they put fun in the offense, and they do just that. They'll throw the ball all over the place, but their defense also gives up a lot. 438.7 yards a game. So when it comes right down to it, you look at this game. Louisiana Tech has got to win the line of scrimmage. They've got to allow their quarterback to do what he does best, and you've got to play free. Open the offense up a little bit. Your defense is going to do a great job. Ferguson is outstanding. He's going to be playing on Sundays, no question about it. But I think for Louisiana Tech, I want to see that offense just explode in this game because you're playing a team that has the potential to explode offensively.
And they actually dropped their last 2 games of the regular season.
Right.
So here's what head coach Skip Holtz had to say about being hungry for this last game.
Our players are going to be extremely motivated to play again, to have the opportunity to go play one last time. For many of these guys that sit in the front row that are seniors, it'll be the last time they put on a uniform and the last time they play the game. And so do I feel like we need that motivation to go play? No, I think we'll go play without it. I think we'll go play for each other. I think we'll go play a hard-fought football game, and I think this team is really excited about the opportunity to go play the game. Not just take the trip, because this is, there's a bowl game's 2 things. It's a reward for a hard-fought season and a great opportunity for these guys to go spend one last time together, but it's also a football game, and it's an opportunity to go play one last time, and I think these players will be excited about that opportunity.
To see if the Bulldogs can bring some hardware back to Ruston for the 5th straight time, tune into ESPN on Saturday, December 22nd at 9:30 p.m. Central. Now let's take a look at all of our bowl games, which can be seen on ESPN. Things kick off with 2 games on the first Saturday of the postseason as North Texas takes the field in the New Mexico Bowl at 1 p.m. Central, followed by Middle Tennessee playing in the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl at 8 p.m. Central. A couple days later, on Tuesday, December 18th, our conference champs, the UAB Blazers, who are looking for the program's first ever bowl win, play in the Charamundi Boca Raton Bowl at 6 p.m. Central. Then on Thursday the 20th, Marshall plays South Florida in the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl at 7 p.m. Central, followed by FIU in the Makers Wanted Bahamas Bowl at 11:30 a.m. Central on Friday the 21st. And we close on our Conference USA Bowl season on Saturday the 22nd with Louisiana Tech looking to make it 5 straight in the SoFi Hawaii Bowl. Now I know we just went through a lot of bowl games, six to be exact. But what's a game that you think will probably be the toughest for one of our Conference USA teams?
You're going to put me on the spot now, aren't
Yes,
you?
of course.
Okay.
I need your analysis.
I tell you, I think it's going to be Louisiana Tech and Hawaii because you don't know what Hawaii team is going to show up. Is it going to be the one that started the season 6-1? Or is it going to be the Hawaii team that lost 4 in a row after starting 6-1? All their opponents scored over 40 points a game. They came back to win their last 2 games. But what Hawaii team's going to show up? And I think for Louisiana Tech, you can remedy whatever happened during the conference season by winning this bowl game. But you've got to get your offense going. You can't score under 30 points in this game and beat Hawaii. It's not going to happen. I want to see Louisiana Tech really explode offensively. I think it's going to be tough for them.
And what's the best matchup or the one that you're most intrigued to watch?
Well, having called an Appalachian State game a couple of years ago, I think it was against ODU, I think it's going to be the Middle Tennessee Appalachian State game. Appalachian State, people don't think a lot about them. This is an outstanding football team. These kids play hard every play. And I also think it's going to be an emotional game for Middle Tennessee. Obviously, last game for Coach Stockstill and his son as coach and son combination. It's going to be emotional, and I think that's going to be an outstanding matchup because both teams are very good. They're very well coached. But I tell you, Middle Tennessee, I really like them in this game. I think it's going to be something they just explode.
But you know you're going to be sitting down on the couch to watch all 6 of our bowl games.
I am a bowl freak. You know, Conference USA sent me my popcorn this year. So I've got the whole tub of popcorn. I'm ready to go.
Okay, I'm going to have to come over and share some of that popcorn.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming
Good
in. We
seeing
appreciate
you
it. Yes, I love when you come in and we get to talk bowl games and Conference USA football. It's always a pleasure.
Favorite time of the year. Can't wait to Conference USA baseball.
Well, for Ron Thulin, I'm Maddie Morris. Thank you so much for joining us and hope everyone enjoys the holiday season.